So she advised Bioye to let him go, saying she's not worthy fighting for. Tope and Shubomi were left alone in the room. Tope turned to her stepsister, seeking her assistance. You know, you are the only person I could trust. I didn't do anything, and I was never going to cheat on Funsho. That is when Shubomi uttered a shocking confession. Shubomi replied, I set you up, my dear stepsister. What a pity, cheating on your fiancé before the wedding. I would never thought of you like that. Shubomi was laughing loudly. Tope was shocked and struggled to understand why her stepsister would do such a horrible thing to her. You see, while you were attending to Funsho yesterday, I slipped a sleeping pills into your drink, and that is why you didn't remember anything. She explained further how she led her to someone else's room, convincing her that Funsho was waiting for her. Tears streamed down from her eyes as her voice trembled, pleading for an explanation. Shubomi replied, I did that because I want to marry Funsho. My stepsister is in love with my fiancé. Shubomi faced Tope, and I can't stand the thought of you being happy with him. Tope couldn't hold the anger tearing her up from inside. Tope attacked Shubomi and started beating her. In that moment of raw rage, Bayo and Ebun returned to the room. Bayo with a strong voice questioning what was happening here. Tope explained everything, telling them the shocking truth that it was Shubomi who set me up, but instead of getting her father's support, he turned his back on his own daughter. Bayo, take a deep breath and speak out. From now on, you are no longer my daughter. Tope was dumbfounded and unable to process the severity of her father's words. Tope shouted on top of her voice, Father, why will you believe those people and not your own daughter? Bioye replied, you have disappointed me twice today. Pack your things and get out. Tope was stunned with a heavy heart and disbelief. Ebun and Shubomi wearing wicked smile of triumph. One question was ringing in Tope's head. Who was that man? It turns out that the man was a president's son named John, who wanted to spend the night in that hotel that night. After the incident, John asked the hotel to destroy the evidence. Tope saw the look on Ebun and Shubomi's face. She sensed the weight of their satisfaction. Tope's sinking support that had suddenly vanished. Tears streamed down from her cheeks. Tope found solace in the embrace of sorrow. That day, Tope lost everything and was kicked out of the house and forced her to leave the town. Tope has no place to go, but she quickly remembered her grandmother, Bioye's mother, who lived in another town. Tope went to her grandmother's place. Her grandmother allowed Tope to stay with her. Her grandmother, who knew the question to ask and not to ask, never asked Tope any question, but accepted her. Few months later, Tope gave birth to a baby boy. Tope named him Ayomide. Tope was happy because her grandmother accepted her and showed her love and care. Her grandmother fell in love with Ayomide at the first sight. Tope kept saying to herself, nothing can destroy this happiness. In time, Tope forgot her miserable life she had in the past. 5 years later, Tope received a letter from her father to attend Shubomi's wedding. Tope's grandmother asked her to go. Tope prepared and came back to her hometown. Tope was happy coming back to her town after 5 years. When Tope got to their house, she entered and was shocked when she saw that the man Shubomi wanted to marry is her ex-fiancé. Ebun ran towards her and asked, "Tope, how have you been? Are you hungry?" Tope then replied, "I know you don't care, so don't behave like you do." Tope faced her father. "Hi, Dad." Her father replied, "I sent you out of the town to think about your behavior. Instead, you brought a strange kid here." Bioye looked at Ayomide and said, "I will never accept him into this family." Tope said to herself, "When they kicked me out, I was so poor that I hardly eat anything. And even then, none of them called for once. And now they want to reject the only person who cares about me." Then Tope voiced out, "Ayomide is my son, and I don't care if you accept him or not. I only came back here for the engagement party, and I will be leaving as soon as it's over." Bioye responded, "Good, you are welcome to the wedding, but not with him." Tope replied with a smile on her face, "Okay, if that is what you want. It was very nice seeing you all. Bye." Tope stormed away. At that time, Tope felt nothing but disgust. She quickly wanted to leave the house as soon as possible and go back to her grandmother's house. Tope and Ayomide were standing alongside of the road, while John, who was passing at that moment, told his driver to stop and help those people. John helped Tope and her son into the car. While they were inside the car, Ayomide sighted a scar on John's hand, and Ayomide called out, "Daddy!" Tope quickly held him back and told John that she's sorry. "Ayomide, what are you doing? It's not funny." Ayomide was confused. He was right. "Mommy." Ayomide pointed to his arm and showed a scar that resembled John's. Tope was surprised to find out they were actually the same, but she thought that it doesn't make any sense. John replied and tell Ayomide not to get too excited about the scar. John then faced Tope and accused Tope that she was just another woman who was after his money. Ayomide did not stop calling John dad. However, Tope hearing Ayomide calling him dad made her uneasy, and she quickly stopped him. Then John replied and said to Ayomide, to have a baby with a woman, at least she has to be attractive, not local girl like your mother. Tope hearing that, those words were very painful to her. Then she asked the driver to stop the car. Then Tope and her son came down from the car. Fortunately, her grandmother's house was closed. After she came down, John drove off. John got home and narrated everything to his father. His father was surprised and told him, "John, this scar in your hand, no one can just have it. Only our generation can have that scar." He asked, "So tell me, how old is the boy?" John replied, "Around 5 years. Yes, I said it. I remember what happened to you years back when you accidentally slept with a woman in the hotel." John's father, who has been asking for grandson, was very happy and wanted to see him as soon as possible. John went back to where she dropped and asked people but couldn't find Tope anywhere. However, John did not stop searching. 3 days later, Tope and her grandmother were walking on the street. Tope saw John and told her grandmother, "Grandmother, that is the man I was telling you about." John quickly ran towards her. "I've been looking for you." Tope was just standing still and asked, "Why are you looking for me? Are you here to cause me more trouble?" "No," John replied. "I know I've spoken rudely to you, but please hear me out." "That child." Tope looking around. "Which child?" Tope asked. "The child is my son." Tope could not say a word, but just stood enraged. "When I got home, I told my father. That is when he told me that that child is mine." Tope was shocked. John continued pleading, "It was not my fault. I was drunk too. That is why I ended up doing that with you. I am very sorry." Hearing all this, Tope was confused. "You are the man who made my life miserable. I lost my father and the man that I love. You made me to lose everything that gave me joy." Tope was crying bitterly and could not hold back her tears. "Did you know how many times I keep asking myself, who was that man?" Tope then asked John to follow her to her father's house to prove her innocence, not knowing to her that John's father, the president, was standing there listening to her. Then he asked, "Where is your father and what is his name?" Tope replied, "He is not in this town. He lives in another town." Tope called her father's name. John's father, hearing that name, "This name is familiar." John's father investigates and find out that he worked at his own company. John and Tope went to Tope's father's house. Tope was not welcome at first, but when they saw the luxury cars and so many guys, then John brought out his phone and played the video for everyone to watch. Everybody was shocked to see how Shubomi led Tope to a stranger and told her that Funsho was waiting for her. Bioye was very angry, shouting at Shubomi, "You did this terrible thing and you were in support of sending Tope out of this house." Tope cut in. "Stop it. Stop it, father. I told you the truth then. You refused to listen and believe me. Instead, you abandoned me and you sent me out of the house and forced me to leave the town for you, that I'm a disgrace." Bioye replied, No, it was not like that." "What was it like then?" Tope asked with a strong voice. Funsho, hearing the shocking truth, was dumbfounded. "You did this? All this misunderstanding, you caused it?" Tope faced him. "It was not a misunderstanding to you. It was the truth to you. You abandoned me when I need you the most." "So Funsho, I don't want to hear that word called misunderstanding." Ebun, who was just sitting looking at them arguing, she faced Shubomi to speak. Then Shubomi, her daughter, stood up. "Yes, I did it. I love you, Funsho. I can't let her have you. I can't stand the chance. I did it. Is it a crime to fight for love?" Tope replied, "This is not love. It's called wickedness, monster, beast." Shubomi faced her mother. "You want to talk? Have you forgotten? You were the one who separated Bioye and Finitola. You took the picture and caused a misunderstanding between them. So you want to scold me now?" Where Bioye was standing, he was shaking, hearing the shocking truth. Then Ebun replied, "If I did that then, did I ask you to do that to your stepsister? Shubomi, what is wrong with you? You fight for love then, and I fight for love too." Tope faced her stepsister and her stepmother. "You are disgusting. You are a beast in animal form. Then a call came through Bioye's phone. Good evening, sir. We are calling from the company that your service will not be needed anymore. And to your wife, Mrs. Ebon, I was told to pass this to you. Good day, sir. At that moment, Bioye was feeling empty. He knew at that moment that he had lost everything. Tope, who was crying bitterly, said, "Looking at you all right now, I feel like vomiting." Tope, Ayomide and John lived together. John took Tope and Ayomide to his house to live together. Bioye divorced Ebun and sent her and her daughter out of his house. Ebun, who has no family and nowhere to go, she was left with nothing. She cannot even afford a meal or rent. Bioye went to Tope's house to ask for her forgiveness. Tope refused to see her father. However, John asked her to meet him. "I am very sorry. I know I've harmed you a lot, but please forgive me." Tope replied, "Father, you did the same thing to my mother. You listened to that woman more than your own wife. And then again, you listen to that same woman more than your own daughter. You love someone else's daughter more than your own daughter. Since my mother left, you never asked me for once if I was fine. Immediately my stepsister and stepmother came into your life, you stopped taking care of me. Father, even when you sent me out and abandoned me, I did not hold any grudges against you. You have been forgiven. But one thing, I will never accept you as my father again." Parents should always listen to their children and spouse and build trust in our home. And remember, not everybody come into your life to build it with you. Some came to destroy what you've built. So bestie, I hope you've learned one or two things from this story. Do well to like, share and subscribe till I bring another story your way. Bye.